So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Charlie Mitchell, class of 1973, and I'm the Director of Alumni Relations at St. Paul's. It's a pleasure to welcome you all here this afternoon to honor our teacher, coach, and friend, Martin D. Mitch Tulai. And of course, most of us still call him Mr. Tulai, regardless of our own ages or how long we've known him. Well, first, a few thanks to Jeff Dudley, my partner throughout this enterprise, to Aaron Hamilton, our events planner, who has overseen the many details that have gone into this day, to Whitney Blair, who conceived of and obtained the great Crusader swag you see here, and tracked down images of Mr. Tulai from across the decades, and Jill Wagner and Nina Kagan, our communications and digital media mavens who managed our messaging and public outreach. So on behalf of St. Paul's, I extend our gratitude to all of you who have traveled such great distances to join us, many of whom are upperclassmen I looked up to when I was a wee middle schooler here on our bucolic campus. We're delighted to have one of Mr. Tulai's daughters here with us today, Jay Tulai, St. Paul's School for Girls class of 1973. And of course, we thank Mr. Tulai, who has given us reason to gather here today. So we are assembled here to celebrate Mr. Tulai's commitment to St. Paul's over 6 decades as teacher, coach, athletic director, mentor, and role model for many hundreds of young men. I count myself as fortunate to be one of those who was both taught and coached by Mr. Tulai. So it's my great pleasure to announce today that 3 generous Crusader alumni have created the Martin D. Tulai Scholar Athlete Scholarship at St. Paul's to provide financial assistance to students who demonstrate both academic aptitude and athletic promise. Please note that materials describing the fund are available here. You will hear from these 3 generous Crusaders: John Green, class of 1994, Brian Hagley, class of 1995, Kirk Unruh, class of 1966, if he gets here in time, in a moment. And we are furthermore delighted to have other St. Paul's head football coaches who follow Mr. Tulai here with us today. Brian Abbott, class of 1985, who succeeded Mr. Tulai, and also a scholarship donor. Paul Bernsdorf, our current athletic director, and Scott Ripley, our assistant athletic director and current head football coach. And I do hope that David Dolch was able to make it, who was also a successor football coach to Mr. Tulai. So a word about today's program. I'll briefly introduce each of the 3 alumni who have founded the Tulai Scholarship. Then Mr. Tulai, who will close out our festivities here in the Word Center with his own remarks. Today has been proclaimed a campus-wide Blue Gold Day in honor of Mr. Tulai. Following the conclusion of our program, students from the upper and middle schools, who have all dressed in blue and gold today, will be assembled outside the Ward Center to greet alumni, faculty, staff, and friends. All are then invited down to our spanking new George L. Mitchell 44 Stadium to cheer the Crusaders on as they battle Archbishop Curley in a crucial conference game on Tulai Field. A tent has been raised on the North Plaza and refreshments will be available. Kickoff is at 4:15. Alumni, please, at the conclusion of the program, please come up to the podium in this area so we can get a group picture of all the alumni with Mr. Tulai. So I would be remiss not to mention that Mr. Tulai and his family and friends celebrated his 90th birthday in July. So your friends here today extend belated birthday wishes to you, sir.